the buzz on the spin. Zabreza puts down her plasma guns, knives, and hidden laser pistol into the bin, partially ignoring and partially trying not to laugh at the rapid clip of Hoagie placing weapon after weapon after weapon into his own bin. Requesting a meeting on neutral ground meant that someone had to play host, and with how Charby could get paranoid outside of their own hives, this meant the person who called the meeting did not get to set the place of the meeting. They're scanned 3 times, and Hoagie is forced to surrender his steel-toed boots as well. They count in the way that armored gauntlets do. So a small, temporary hive was set up. 5 levels of guard posts, dozens of shifted walls, and twice their number in automated emplacements. Every hive but the Berserker was working security, so this couldn't be a Berserker trap. Too much was outside of their control. Hive Sting, Million Sting, and Buzzkill were running the security, but the innermost sanctum was a place of safety. No weapons, no hostility, no bullshit either. A single round table around which comfortable cushions were laid out to be sat down on. No one was at any head, and no one had any preference. Completely even accommodation. There wasn't even consideration for the fact that Hoagie was easily twice as tall as any of them. Hive Lord and their second in command. With Berserker, it wasn't quite so clear as to who was who. Zabreza was the clear leader of the hive, but as hive husband Hoagie has enormous authority, mixed with his training and willingness to act, and he was effectively leader as well. Mother Vezidzi Sting outright beams as they walk in. To her immediate left is her sister wife and actual sister Matzi Sting. Vezidzi was the silken glove with an iron fist beneath it. By comparison, Matzi was a spiked gauntlet wrapped around the handle of a serrated battle axe. There was legally a warrant out for her arrest in several nearby systems, but seeing as how she wasn't even within 100 light years of any of them, they weren't pushing the issue. Compared to Vazizi and Matzi giving him either approving or neutral looks, Azana from Million Stings was borderline hostile. Her wings were buzzing, and it's clear she wants to fight. Her second, Zari Million Stings, was much more controlled, but if things get violent, she's just going to use Azana's berserk rage as a cover to start shanking people. Next up is Zaina Buzzkill with Zany Buzzkill. Yes, Charbis were often born in large clutches, but completely identical twins. That was different. According to rumor, they were completely interchangeable. Not even their sisters or husband could tell the difference, and even their mother Matzi had outright given up trying to tell them apart. It didn't help that they played into it and clearly thought of themselves as 2 halves of one greater unit. They used it well, though, proving that even in the smallest of scales, teamwork makes the dream work. Especially if that dream involves outright forcing out anyone that isn't either related or in a business arrangement out of an entire economic sector. Thankfully, the duo is fairly neutral, but clearly judging. They're also communicating constantly. Their antennae are wrapped up in one another, and there's enough axiom dancing around it that it's clear they have their own code language that is going off more or less constantly even now. It's not often we're all out our hives with our war faces off. I trust there's a good reason for this, Vazizi notes calmly, asking the question without actually asking. I'll cut to the chase. Hoagie begins pulling out a data slate from his pocket. This better be good, Azana snaps. This data pad has the randomized scans of the products out of Sector 4. Hoagie says, putting it on the table between them all. Someone has been tainting product from the hives. What? Azana demands, grabbing the data slate and scanning it. Are tubers? Who the hell taints tubers? A dead woman walking, that's who, Zari remarks as she reads over Azana's shoulder. From all our hives? Vazizi asks, all business and with an utterly piercing stare. Yes, although a different spread from each hive. Hive Sting has been hitting the grains for the most part. From Million Sting, it's primarily in tubers and root vegetables. Buzzkill has had their fruit products tainted, and my own hive of Berserker has had someone fuck with the berries and nuts and seed products. Finally, there's a much smaller, but still noticeable tainting to all of our leafy greens and grasses. The honey is untouched as best as I can tell, as are the products that go to candy suppliers. But a lot of the station could catch sick soon. Where do you think it's starting? Not with us, but I want to make sure I catch the fucker responsible, hence this meeting. Could you explain? Zaina and Zanny ask in sequence. I know for a fact that everyone here is too proud and too smart to willingly taint their product, which means that it's not in the hives or hydroponics. So we go to the next level out. The problem is that while I do have the authority as station administration to demand to know who your distributors are and where they go to, I don't want to overstep. Straight up demanding such information would be disrespectful to the family, so I'm here to respectfully request it. Could you please supply me with the information I need so that I can hunt down and punish the idiots who thought toying with the hives was something they could get away from? We did not expect this. We will need to gather and gift this information to you. Zaina and Zani say first in sequence then as one. So that's what this is about. Stupid bitch is damn. Fine, hang on a second. Azana growls out. Her wings are buzzing hard now and her antennae are moving in sudden jerks. The girl is seconds away from murdering someone. She brings out her private communicator and all but slams it into the data slate. If this information gets out, I'm going to string you up, hive or no hive. Understand? Look, if you just want to fight, we can rent a damn arena in Sector 2 and hash things out that way. As tempting as that is, I need to make money and provide for my hive. What? You don't think an all-out brawl with a man won't sell? Hoagie asks, and just has his data slate thrown back at him in response. Noted. I also did not bring the needed information. I wasn't expecting something like this, but you will have it shortly. Vazizi says she has a very different look on her face now. She's considering and clearly thinking. Very good. Is there anything anyone would wish to speak with me about? Because this is the totality of my issues with the hives. Only that you should tone down the drama and formality a bit there, kiddo. I thought you were making a power play to make our hive subservient to yours. Vazizi notes with a grin. No, you're not the type, are you? You play longer games than that. Long game? I don't see how planning to be too useful to ignore or dispose of is a long game. I see it as practical, Hoagie remarks with a slight grin. No one's fooled, but no one's offended either. Long game, Vazizi states with a widening smile as she seems to relax further. Anyways, I've said my piece and will be getting the information. So if you girls will excuse me, I'm about to put my war face on. Yeah, I'm out of here. My girls too. I need a plasma thrower in my hands and preferably some stupid bitch cooking under its power, Azana remarks as she starts to buzz away from the table with Zari in tow. Just be careful with those things. There is no faster way for Minisci to want your head on a spike than blowing holes in the outer hull. I know that. Duh! I'm not stupid, unless the shot is guaranteed it's in banger mode, you dumb monkey, Azana snaps. If she's got a personal insult for you rather than seething rage, then she's starting to like you. Zabreza whispers to Hoegi, who nods. May your hive and beloved family thrive. Zaina and Zani say in their strange way as they separate, circle each other for a few turns and then start to depart, still in perfect synchronization, and Hoagie sighs. Yes, they're always like that, Zabreza says. Okay then, time to arm up and leave then, Hoagie says as he rises up. Zabreza hangs onto his shoulders and she gives him a peck on the forehead. You did well. Strong, but humble at the same time. You're good at this. Good nothing. I've just got no patience for bullshit. So I jump the hoops and make sure they don't come back to bite me. It would be better if they all were less paranoid, but asking a Sharbees to trust outside her hive. I may as well try to argue an atmosphere into the void. There's not enough air in my lungs for that kind of thing. Hey, what? Are you going to honestly tell me that you're not paranoid and unsettled when outside your hive? No, but you could have phrased that nicer, Zabriza says, and he shrugs. There's being nice and then there's being dishonest, Hwagi remarks. Still, this is the hard part done. Next is speaking to the Volba hives and getting the information out of them. Oh, the Volba? Why? Zabriza asks in a disappointed tone. Some meat's been tainted too. I want to get everyone who's been fucking with the station's food, whether this is just a fuck up in the cleaning process, some new kind of soap that leaves residue, an asshole cutting corners, or deliberate malice. I want it to stop in every product. I know, it's just... I know. You don't have to follow me as I talk to them. They're really open about things, and if they know that people are getting hurt due to tainted product, they'll be quick to agree. That's not it. It's that, well, you don't trust them? No. Is this because of something you're not telling me, or because Sharby and Volba generally don't get along? Both? One of the hives is kind of looking for a husband. I doubt they're going to want someone who was already claimed by a Sharbees hive. Not only is it an outright declaration of war, but I think the term used goods might apply here too. You are not used goods. Zabriza scolds him even as she pulls out her backup laser pistol and secrets it away on her person. Oh, I've helped you girls pump out hundreds of eggs, have fully embraced the Sharbees hive life, and am even being thought well of in the hive politics. How is that not used goods by an outside party? Hoagie asks as his boots go back on. His backup knife goes into the boot sheath. The backup knife goes into an upper arm sheath. The backup knife into a hidden back of the belt sheath that the shirt hides, and his main one into an open and obvious thigh sheath. His Lucky Luger goes beside it, as well as 2 magazines of ammunition. The components of a rifle are hidden along his chest armor. A pair of energy pistols, one banger and the other an ablator, are clipped down right under where he tosses his aggressively bright shirt onto, and he turns around. Only the banger and ablator are visible on his chest area, and the shirt stands out so much that the knife and pistol strapped to his thigh are effectively invisible. They're let out without any issue, as already the temporary fortress in the middle of the biodeck is dismantled, and the breeze with the hearty smell of the healthy soil and semi-wild forests of fruit trees and wild herbs makes Hwagi take a deep, appreciative breath. You really like it on this level, don't you? Zabriza asks in a knowing tone. Why the hell did I ever think heading to Sector 5 was a good idea? This is a paradise under chrome plating. Glad you got diverted? Zabriza asks with a wide smile at complete odds with the primed and ready banger in her arms. Outright thankful, he replies, turning and pulling her down for a quick kiss. Get a room, one of the other Charby calls out as they continue the teardown of the temporary hive. None of that, Hoagie says as he pulls down Zabriza's gun.